Om Sri Venkateshaya Namaha. Welcome to the Scientist Priest spiritual program. Today we will try to go to Srivari temple in Tirumala and have a look at the various parts of the temple and their importance. It has been a tradition to build a temple in the middle of a human settlement and auspiciously on the banks of rivers, on the sea coasts or on the hills. Whenever and wherever there is a human settlement, a temple will be built in the middle of it so that the population, they'll be going to the temple, doing prayers, and lot of families will be flourishing around the temple with so many duties to be performed inside the temple. Not only the priests, Brahmins, but people of so many other castes will be getting a living from the temple. All the townspeople will be visiting the temple on auspicious days, on festival days like Diwali and Pongal. They will be celebrating festivals in the temple with special decorations, with extra food offerings to the deity and grand processions around the temple, outside the temple of the processional murtis, and doing bhajans, chanting the gods' names. And in the evenings, they will be assembling near the temple. Learned people, sadhus, swamijis will be visiting the temple, giving them lectures on so many religious subjects. So these are normal things happening in the world. But Tirumala temple is a totally different thing. The temple is situated in the midst of a very dense forest, beyond 7 hills, utterly unreachable for an ordinary person. And one more special feature about this temple is, under normal circumstances, the temple is built according to the Vimanarchana Kalpam, the science of temple architecture and Vastu, given to us by sage Marichi, belonging to Vaikhanasa Agama sect. The temple construction starts with proposal and selection of land on an auspicious day, and then doing soil tests to work out the details of the construction. And there will be a ritual called Karshanam, where the soil is ploughed and the Navadhanya seeds are sowed and let the cows and calves eat it. And then the construction starts with the foundation laying. After the temple is totally constructed as per the plan, then the main deity of the temple is brought inside the sanctum, sanctorum, fixed there, and then did prana pratishtha in the Agama Shastra way with all the seed letters and around very auspicious Muhurat. But in Tirumala, Lord Vishnu has descended onto this planet about 170 million years ago, as per the time scales given in the Puranas. Until recently, he was moving about in the living form, interacting with the devotees, the gods, the sages who have assembled there for darshan. And at the starting of Kali Yuga, he stopped interacting with the people, took an idol form, which is called Archavatara, the physical manifestation of the god. And he stood there in the middle of the forest under a tamarind tree and a champak tree. The temple is built around the idol. Instead of the normal procedure of building a temple and then installing the idol, here the idol was installed first and then the temple was built around him at various stages by different kings, emperors of various time scales. Now, the main idol, because it is a self-manifested form, is the most beautiful, enchanting, mesmerizing form of Vishnu with 4 hands, with all the divine ornaments as per the Silpa Shastra, the art of temple architecture, and of very hypnotizing smile on his face, making people forget everything and surrender to him the moment they come and stand before him. Now, when we go to the temple in Tirumala, we will be having darshan of the main deity in the sanctum, sanctorum, which is called Garbhalayam or Garbhagraham in Silpa Shastra. I will just try to show you a graphic sketch of the temple. This is the Garbhalayam, the sanctum, the innermost corridor of the temple, where the main idol of Lord Venkateshwara stands in the auspicious place with the idol of Bhoga Srinivasamurti, which is called Kautuka Bhaira in the Agam Shastra, at the feet of the main deity on the northeast direction. On the right of the main deity, on the golden throne, the processional deities, Utsavamurtis, Malayappa Swami with Sridevi and Bhudevi are there, along with the other Bhairas called Snapana Bhaira, called Ugra Srinivasamurti with Sridevi and Bhudevi, and the Bali Bhaira, the Darbar Srinivasamurti, on the left side of the main deity on a golden throne. Here stand Lord Rama with Sita and Lakshmana, also Lord Krishna with Rukmini. They are the Salagrama Murtis on either side of the Lord. Here the Sudarshan Chakra is there, which is called Chakra Talwar in the Agamic language, who has got a very important role to play in the different rituals throughout the year. So this is the sanctum sanctorum, and here is a step called Kolase Karapadi, a step in the name of Alvar, who has sung the glory of Lord Venkateshwara. He wanted to be a step at the threshold of the sanctum sanctorum, so that the dust from the feet of all the devotees will be falling on him, and he wanted that blessing to be granted by Lord Venkateshwara, and he was granted. So this step is called Kolase Karapadi. Outside this Kolase Karapadi, there is an enclosure called Shayana Mantapam or Antarala. Here, the Bhoga Srinivasamurti is put to bed every day on a silver cot and velvet bed. This is called Antarala. Outside this, there is a narrow passage called Ramalvari Meda, where Lord Rama and the other associated gods like Vrishaksena, Ananta, Garuda, Hanuman, Angada and Sugriva used to be placed. Now they had been shifted to outside because all the devotees used to touch it and pollute them. Outside this, there is a inner enclosure called Ardha Mandapam or Snapana Mandapam, where on sacred days the Utsava Murtis and Ugra Srinivasa Murti and everybody will get a ritual bath here called Snayana Mandapam. And on the right side, there are lockers where all the sacred jewelry of the Lord are stored. Coming out of the Ardha Mandapam or Snapana Mandapam, there is the outermost Tirumala Mandapam or Mukha Mandapam. It's called Bangaru Vakili because the two gates here are plated with gold sheets. This is Bangaru Vakili. On either side of it, there are Dwarapalakas, the guards, the door guards, guarding the gates, guarding the entrance to the sanctum in the nights. The devotees has to pass through between the Dwarapalakas to enter the sanctum. Here, right opposite, in the Tirumala Mandapam, right opposite the Lord, there is Garuda, the king of birds, with folded hands. And it is also an essential part of the Vishnu temple according to the Vaikhansa Agama Silpa Shastra. So this is the innermost and more ancient part of the temple. Here we can see a small enclosure here around the sanctum sanctorum in the closest proximity, which is closed on both the sides, only a few feet wide. This is called Vaikuntha Pradakshinam right now. We are using it on Vaikuntha Ekadashi, the most sacred day of the year. This formed when in 1150 AD, the Anandanilaya Vimana, the tower on the top of this sanctum sanctorum, was enlarged, made bigger, and to take the weight of that enhanced Anandanilaya Vimana, the walls of the sanctum sanctorum were fortified, and so this enclosure was formed just to take the weight of the Anandanilaya Vimana, which has been blown up. And so the entire thing is enclosed within a prakara, a compound wall called Vimana Prakara. As the devotee, after having darshan near Kulsekarpadi, who's the main deity, comes out from his right side towards the southeast direction. Here there is a well called Golden Well, which is a very sacred water body whose water is used every day for the daily rituals of the deity and for preparing the daily food offerings to the god. In the southeast corner of the Vimana Prakara, there is a kitchen called Potu, where the rice varieties for the deity to be offered or prepared every day. There are so many varieties of rice prepared as per the Agam Shastra in specific quantities fixed by Agam Shastra again and offered to the deity at different timings, that too fixed by the Agam Shastras. So this is the kitchen, and next to that, adjacent to that, there is a Yagashala where the daily fire offerings are made for all the gods invited, and then food offerings are made, and prayers for the welfare of the entire human race and the entire our planet are offered to all the deities. After crossing the Yagashala, there is a huge mandapam with beautiful pillars and sculptures and a miniature mandapam in the middle, which is called Kalyana Mandapam, which is again a part of every temple according to the Silpa Shastra. Here, the celestial wedding of Malayappa Swami with Sridevi and Bhudevi is performed whenever the devotees come and offer to pay for it. This is the Kalyana Mandapam. So, now behind the sanctum sanctorum, the Vimana Prakaram, leaving place for the devotees to go around, there is another mandapam here called Vahana Mandapam, where the vehicles of the Lord, like Garuda Vahana, Hanumanta Vahana, Sesha Vahana, Surya Prabha, Chandra Prabha, all these Vahanas are, which are used during Brahmotsavam for taking the processional deities in grand processions around the temple. They are stored here, maintained, protected, and kept watch. This is the Vahana Mandapam, again a part of every temple as per Shilpa Shastra. In the northwest corner, there is a room called Gandhapuvara, where priests prepare sandal paste by grinding sandalwood against stone platforms, mixed with saffron, and then offered to God for everyday rituals. This is called Gandhapuvara. This is again a part of the temple. Here, there is a huge room to store all the silver articles used in the daily rituals and special rituals in the temple. They are kept here, cleaned and protected, weighed, everything done here and kept under lock and key. Next to that, there is called one room called Bokasam, where all the records regarding the donations of huge jewelry from the times of emperors, kings, jamindars, landlords, devotees, all these records were kept there, maintained, and some other special articles for puja, they are all stored here. Next to that, there is a room called Sabera. It's called Sabha Ara, where in 14th and 15th centuries, the Tirupati local business people were formed into a body to maintain the temple and supervise the rituals in the temple. They are called collectively called Sabha. So this Sabha used to meet every month in this room, so that is called Sabha Ara. Now it is Sabera. So this is the Sabera room where we store the clothes of the deity along with the silver cot and the velvet bed of the god used during Ekant Seva, the final ritual of the day. After this, in this northeast corner, there is Lord Narasimha in the yoga pose with 4 hands, Shankha and Chakra, with Lakshmi on his right chest and with Sudarshana. He is facing west. And here, in the opposite corner, there is Lord Varadaraja in the standing pose. And both Lord Narasimha and Varadaraja are the most exquisite sculptures, the most handsome gods there in the temple. Here, there is a hundi where the devotees offer their offerings, promised offerings to the god after having darshan of the Lord here. And inside this Vaikuntha Pradakshina, you have a small shrine for Lord Vishwaksena, the commander-in-chief of the Lord. He gets all the rituals every day 3 times along with the main deity. But on Wednesdays, he will have a ritual bath. So this is Vishwaksena. So this is the innermost enclosure and the most ancient of the temple. This is Sampangi Prakaram. This Sampangi Prakaram was built in 1200 AD. Up to that, this used to be the only structure here, and outside this there was a beautiful garden of champak trees there. So when this became enclosed, it's called Sampangi Prakara in the name of the champak trees. In the Sampangi Prakara, we have the main kitchen preparing the sweet meats for the deity, laddu, vada, appam and dosa. And on the back side of this prakaram is the Ugranam, the storehouse, where we store all the ingredients for preparing the sweet meats like channa flour, ghee, sugar, jaggery, dry fruits, everything. And on the southern side of this Sampangi Prakaram, there is a huge elongated mandapam with beautiful pillars and all that. And here, this is totally covered now with artificial roofing and now used as Kalyanotsavam, Kalyana Mandapam. Because the inner Kalyana Mandapam was not enough to accommodate the increased number of devotees, we have shifted the Kalyanotsavam to the outer Prakaram, Sampangi Prakaram here. In the Sampangi Prakaram, here there is a beautiful stone mandapam called Tirumala mandapam, where during the first day of the Brahmotsavam, Dhwajarohanam day, Lord Malayappa Swami was brought here and placed here to witness the Dhwajarohanam in the Dhwaja Mandapam here, Dhwajastambam, the flagstaff, where Garuda is worshipped. This is called Tirumala Mandapam. And next to that is Ranganayaka Mandapam, where the idols of Ranganatha from Sri Rangam were brought in 12th and 13th centuries during Malikafur period to protect them from the onslaught, and they were placed here for 14 years and worshipped as per Pancharatra Agama Shastra. Here, in this corner, there is a separate room for tying the garlands for the Lord. So this is the Sampangi Prakaram, where the Dhwajastambam is there and Balipeetham is there, where offerings are made to all the demigods and semigods every day. And there is a 16-pillared Pratima Mandapam, which was built by Krishnadevaraya during his lifetime. He made his copper life-size images with his two queens and then installed them here in his presence. And here his successor Venkatapati Raya also installed his own idols here. And this is the main gate called Mahadwara Gopuram and Rajagopuram here. So, and here in this corner there is a room for preparing the flower garlands for the deity every day. Twice the garlands are changed, and there was a Vaishnavite family which was doing that service as a hereditary duty, but now it is not there, but the room is still there. So this entire temple complex in a brief way. Outside the main temple, opposite, there is Lord Hanuman with folded hands praying to Lord Venkateshwara here. And here there was a huge 1,000-pillared mandapam called Veyyikala Mandapam, built around 1,000 years ago as a place for the devotees to stay, to cook their food and to worship. So, but this 1,000-year-old, 1,000-pillar mandapam has been demolished ruthlessly it would have been a huge archaeological treasure to be passed on to the next generations, but has been mindlessly demolished. Similarly, there was a mandapam called Ratha Mandapam here, which was built by Vijayanagar kings. It is built of granite with beautiful sculptures, and every year it was used for Malayappa Swami with Sridevi and Bhudevi to come and stay there briefly, perform the rituals to get into the Maharath. And then from inside itself there were stone steps. Through the steps, Lord can go into the Maharath safely. Now that has also been demolished mercilessly, and even today for Maharath, Lord is using steel steps to get into the car. So these are all man-made mistakes. So this is briefly the description of the temple structure, and devotees, whenever they are visiting the temple, they can keep this in mind and understand the different parts of the temple, understand their importance and their antiquity, and remember the kings and emperors who have built them for the Lord, and enjoy the blessings of Lord Venkateshwara. Om Sri Venkateshaya Namaha.